So I've completed a total of 12 hours so far of Red Dead Redemption 2, and so I think it's only fair to collect my thoughts into a video of my first impressions of the game with the story in mind, or at least sort of. I'm not going to focus much onto the story or what I think about it because, if I'm being quite honest with you, I'm not too sure what the story is about. I've invested much of my time getting a feel for the vast world in which Rockstar has created, and so much of the storyline is untouched. As far as the world goes, it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. There's not another word that could describe how open and big, along with how depth this game truly is. The options for customizing Arthur Morgan, the character we play as, is so large, from eating meals to restore health and stability, from grooming his naturally growing beard, from hunting options to stranger interactions, to establishing good or bad bonds with those you have encountered with, which eventually affects future interactions. Red Dead is essentially an ensemble of greatness. However, I do have some issues. Before I go on to those issues, I must say that if you aren't a Western fan, I don't think this game will sit very well with those of you who aren't. It's slow, it's a drag, and there's a significant learning curve, so juggling this game with something as mechanic heavy like Spider-Man or Call of Duty, for instance, might not actually work in your favor. This game is meant to be soaked in and to be consumed by its gripping world and enjoyed without the interference. I want to mention that the issues I do have with the game are very, very minor, and I think anyone who's mildly invested in video games like myself would agree. The gameplay mechanics are quite sophisticated, thus creating a sense of unconventionality, or being unconventional. It really is. There's so much to learn, and a lot of the tutorials are brief, causing anyone who isn't used to Rockstar's structure to be lost in the world so quickly. There's a lot of items I've got stored on me, and I simply don't know whether to keep them or not due to the lack of information regarding its importance. Shooting for me would be the biggest issue, and I struggle a lot in these brief battles I have with untrusted strangers who attempt to steal my horse, from gangs and lawmen who are out to get me in large numbers with a better arsenal of weaponry than I have. Now, while I do dislike those issues a ton, I'm still really enjoying the game for what it truly is. The amount of detail put into the dynamic world is unparalleled with anything I've seen, maybe with the exception of Naughty Dog games, of course. Titles like Cyberpunk 2077 and The Division 2 must increase their level of productivity and quality if they want to keep up with Rockstar's most recent technical marvel, Red Dead Redemption 2. Thanks for watching, everyone. My name is TheStarkz, and I hopefully you enjoyed, because I enjoyed making this video, sort of. Please tell me what your impressions are of the game so far. Like I said, I really enjoyed, or I'm enjoying my time so far. And the mechanics and the movement as well, to a lesser degree than the mechanics and especially the gun. I think this is something that Rockstar definitely struggled with, and that is their gun mechanics or whole system. When it comes to aiming and shooting, sometimes it just doesn't feel good, like games like Uncharted or I don't know, just other games like Call of Duty, for instance. But Rockstar, like even for Grand Theft Auto 5, a game in which I've been known for praising, it just doesn't compare to that fluidness. And I think as a Western game, this Red Dead Redemption 2, the gun and the shooting mechanics and the whole system, and from the combat to the shooting to the movement, should all feel fluid. And a lot of people are noticing that it really isn't, despite how popular and awesome Rockstar is as a studio. It's just they lack significantly in this department. As far as detail goes in this dynamic world, they never fail to disappoint me. But when it comes to their shooting, I can't tell you how difficult it is when I'm outnumbered and being approached by different things around me in this vibrant world, and I don't know how to respond to it properly. Drawing my gun is difficult at times too, because you're required to only draw out the guns that you can on your horse, and it's limited because of the realism to it. And I think that is what is essentially suffering from Red Dead Redemption 2. It's this realistic world that's and it's hindered. It really is. The realism is it affects the general gameplay and my experience. It really does. And you know, I'm not trying to bash the game at all. Like I said, I think this is one of the best games I've played in months. And you know, to be fair, I haven't played much games besides Spider-Man and The Last of Us. But my point is, when it is a Western game and there's not a lot of focus on you know, the people, because let's be real, as compared to Grand Theft Auto 5, there's not I wouldn't say there's not as much things to do, but I mean, if you're not a fan of Westerns, I mean, even I at times like, okay, this is kind of boring, and I'm a huge fan of Westerns, you know, things like Django and The Hateful Eight and The Wild Wild West, but it's just, it's not going to sit well with anyone who isn't a Western fan, and that's the issue, right? It doesn't appeal to everyone, but I think that is something Rockstar needs to improve on, and I hope they do, because I can't wait to dive in more into the story and just experience it for what it is, the 50-hour storyline. And you know, again, tell me what your guys' thoughts. I know a lot of people are, you know, I've seen and heard mixed reactions and opinions, so just let me know what you guys think. And again, I also want to direct my focus to this channel and just, you know, express all those who have supported me throughout the years, or those who are new. I appreciate that, and I just want you to know that I haven't abandoned this channel per se, and I've just been, you know, enormously busy with my work and school schedule, along with forming relationships and all that. So a lot of ideas that I do want to put towards this channel and other channels are going to be delayed because of, you know, I want to focus on college and ensure that I get the best marks I can and make my mama proud, you know what I mean? But with that all being said, though, just let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comment section below, and thank you once again for watching, and I have been TheStarkz. Thank you for watching.